Good evening and welcome to Brothers and Booze. I'm here with my esteemed colleague.
Who, me? Oh, yeah.
You are the esteemed colleague.
Wow, that's high praise. What you got there, brother? What are you pouring?
It's high praise and it's big words, so it's cool. we have a Blackberry Ghost from one of my favorites in town, Delta Beer Lab. You guys are beautiful. They're great, beautiful people, beautiful humans. And this is I don't think the pink is coming through. The color's not coming through good enough on this one. But what you got?
So I started off with one I was hoping I would find, but I was not holding out hope. Firestone Walker's Chocolate Cherry Stout. Only 5.5 ABV, but like I wanted it because I'm one of those people that likes cherries flavors in my beer.
It sounds horrible.
That sounds horrible.
I'm just telling you, man, this is my first stop. Of course I would try it. Of course it's probably fantastic. Watch.
Yeah, it's like
right.
No, hear me out. It's mostly chocolate and a cherry hints to it to give you. It's not like a cherry cordial, which was what I was expecting. You know, those cherry cordial candies you get around Christmas. Like the cherries are in there, but it's not like the cherries. It's there, but it's not like overpowering. The chocolate's way more forward. It's pretty roasty, so really, really, really easy drinker. So yeah, I really dig that. And only 5.5, it makes it even more drinky.
Yeah, usually when you're starting off with a stout, things can go downhill fast at the end of the night. You guys don't see post-production. Anyway,
thank God.
We're going to start Patreon.
Right. Oh, I like that.
Hey, there's high praise from my wife over here. I like that. So,
well, cheers to her too. This is a really good one. The blackberry's coming through pretty good, but what I like about it is that it doesn't have that saltiness that I despise in ghosts, as you know, when it's too salty or they're this actually drinks like I don't want to say a real sour, but I think that's what I'm kind of saying.
Baby sour?
Yeah, it drinks bigger than a baby sour.
Okay.
The beer fairy might the beer mail fairy might grace you with one of these soon.
You know, I'm a fan of the Ghosts, so
yes, sir. So we have a certified cicerone on tap, so we're gonna talk beer tonight.
On tap.
Pun intended. But wait, do I have something in my camera here? What's that? Anyway, yeah, we have a certified cicerone, but I have some video. I have so many videos here. So I'm gonna play this one real quick before we bring on Robert, and then we'll talk about the video that I'm about to show. Let's see here where we're at. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, here. Cool.
Keep watching Jeopardy 24 hours a day and call this number. Yeah, dumb son of a bitch. You don't watch it 24 hours a day. There's a daily cash prize of $1,000 and fuck. No shit. Call now, play phone Jeopardy. She drank the poison that Captain Hook intended for Peter Pan. Tinkerbell! Fuck 'em.
R.I.P. Alex Trebek. Cheers.
Yeah. R.I.P. Never heard him swear before ever, so that was fun.
That's why I played it. Yes, isn't that the fantastic part about it? He was always well refined. He said it. He had the best words, literally, not just saying it like somebody runs around and says it. You know what I'm saying? Like the man really had a way about himself. He was a great guy.
Yep.
So, on that note, let's bring on our certified cicerone. One of my friends, one of Doug's friends. We'll get into all that. Mr. Robert Scroggs, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well, man.
Doing great. We're doing great. What's in the glass?
What are you starting on?
I've got a Trillium Black is Beautiful, provided thanks to turn it the right direction here. Everything.
I know I struggle with that too.
Yeah. So,
I'm a host and I struggle with that.
Provided by our mutual friend Jerry Richard.
Yes, cheers, Jerry. Jerry needs to be
booked on the show. This one's got some vanilla beans in it. It's nicely balanced. A little bit on the sweet side, actually. Most of these Black is Beautiful beers are kind of harshly bitter, but this one actually leans more towards the sweet side. So,
and most of them are stouts, right?
Yeah, almost all of them. There's a few of them that are. The base recipe was a stout, and there's a few of them that. Yeah, there were also, there's been a couple of distilleries that did some Black is Beautiful. I guess there were whiskeys. I haven't got my hands on any of them yet. And a few cideries and even a meadery that has done some ciders and meads off the Black is Beautiful. So I don't know. I haven't had any of those. I wish I had, but hadn't managed to get my hands on them. So far, this is number 18 that I've tried. So
Look at you. You have fans already. You have more fans.
You got some fanboys going on in the group telling you.
Yeah, you got more fans than Doug.
Hey, that's not a high bar, man. Come on.
Robert.
Already, people telling me to spin the wheel.
Yeah. By the way, it's like when Norm walks into the bar and cheers, Robert!
Wait. You all were loving the show. We're 4 whiskeys and 5 stouts in.
All right, I need to find out who that was.
Yeah, who is that?
Oh, that's Joel. Joel Dratic, like bringing the heat.
Yeah, Joel's hanging out with Jeremy, I believe. That's what I think I saw.
Oh,
yeah. So Trillium White Lion.
Ooh,
stout blend.
Yep, that's what that is.
14%.
This one's 10.7.
Oh, okay, 10.7. Okay.
Yep.
Oy.
According to the can.
So Robert, any comments on the video that we showed right before you got on there?
I always liked Jeopardy, but I never watched it very much, just because it's on the daytime and stuff. But really, I don't watch TV much. But it's it's a sad loss for the game show world.
Absolutely. Hey, my family still watches Wheel of Fortune every night.
So my sister, once upon a time, moved down to Austin, and Austin was showing Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if it was a half hour earlier or an hour earlier than it was back in the Dallas market. And so she was on the phone with my parents, and she was just telling them all the answers, with one spin of the wheel. And they're like, God, how she go so good?
Right. Wheel of Fortune, man, you could, in my opinion, you could go back 15 years and it doesn't seem like Vanna has aged. Pat is the same goofy old goof that he was. You know what I mean? Like, right. And I don't know, my kids love it. It's funny. It's one of those things that clearly is transpired.
They don't have that ceramic Dalmatian anymore. They got to get rid of. Remember that in the early days? People had
that was always there.
Yeah, and it's like, I guess I'll get that Dalmatian. Yeah, I can afford.
Oh man. So you guys, Doug, so want to talk about the connection that you and Robert recently, what's been going on recently?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to actually be able to register for Robert's certified cicerone class, level 2, I believe, right?
Yep.
And so that was kind of a quick decision, and I have not regretted it. The only thing is I get a little twisted up with the chemistry stuff because I haven't taken chemistry in 30 plus years. So it's it's like I need to have beer just to grease the little cogs in my brain that go in those.
Just wait till we get to Water Week.
I have heard.
Plenty of chemistry. Really, we're going to be talking about malting this coming week, so it's there's going to be a little bit of chemistry involved in there too.
So what you learned, Doug? What's going on? You're going to be a cicerone?
I'm going to try for the test.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's funny because first, we're starting a lot with like I hope you don't mind me saying, we're starting with a lot of German style beers.
Mhm.
But again, I'm thinking German style beers. Okay, great. And there's like way more variety than I realized. And it's been cool to kind of like, he does a very good job of showing you how to utilize not just your taste, but your sense of smell and tie that together and really learn how different beers, work. And I've learned a shit ton, and I've only been in it a couple weeks. So
I think we've had 4 classes so far, something like that. We've got 21 to go, I guess.
Wow.
Full year.
So do you agree, Doug, when I say the more I learn about beer, the more I know I don't know a lot about beer?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a few. I think those master cicerones probably know a lot about beer, but and some of these people that have been brewing forever know a lot about beer. But yeah, most people, even if they've been brewing for 5-10 years, they'll be the first to admit that the more I learn that there is more to learn. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot to know.
Yeah.
So I just recently finished up my beer education at Siebel Technology Institute of Technology, which is one of the best or one of the most well-known brewing institutions and education places in the world. It was fantastic, but Doug, I can agree with you 100%. The chemistry was just slapping me around. I ended up doing pretty good in like the tests and the quizzes and stuff. And I had to guess on a couple of them during the test, though. I'll be completely honest, because the test was like an hour and 15 minutes, and it just took me a while to do a whole lot of things. So I kind of left them for the end, hoping that I would have time to like go through the molecules and it's just calcium and magnesium and how calcium affects the whole mash, and man, it's just.
How long was that class?
It's great. It was I think it was 10 weeks. And for me, it was like 3 weeks because
Greg's a little bit of a procrastinator.
Right. And then I, inching in, and I was actually really trying to give myself time to like just get back into like, I think part of it is like you're out of school, you're out of learning. So you have to get your brain tuned in to collect a lot of information and remember that shit in a short period of time. And then, like, not to bring in life and politics, but of course they play in everything. And now, meanwhile, the other side of life is not holding false news and fake shit and lies in your head. So it's almost like I've been tuning myself to not take things in that are bullshit. But then when it's a whole bunch of things that aren't bullshit that you have to take in, it really messes with your head. So that was really more in play but my desire to learn more about beer and to be driven to learn and to just show my kids too, like, I'm old as, they think I'm old as dirt, and to them I am. But to see me still going to school and doing pretty well at it while juggling their school and all the things around the house. Cheers. It was a great time. I finished with a B. That's what I wanted to do. So I'm really happy about it. So it's great that we're all like, at least we've done that pandemic thing, which is improve yourself during the pandemic, right? Is that one of the things that you should check off?
You start with making bread, and then you go to self-improvement.
Right. I skipped the baking bread part. I need to go back to that, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of fun too. Except for there was a big run on flour and yeast, so it's hard to find either one. I started to think about maybe I should try baking some bread with beer yeast, just for the fun of it.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's not made for making bread. It'll get the job done, but it's different. From what I've read, I've never actually done it. But
I'd be curious how that would affect the flavor profile.
Yeah, me too. But I haven't done it yet. Pandemic's not over.
We're gonna grace Robert with a video here.
Here we go.
Oh, this is a fun one. Let's see here.
Voter fraud's a real problem in the country.
Yeah, I know all about it.
Have you ever seen any voter fraud?
Yeah, hey, I did it.
You
Really? 20 years ago, yeah. Did you get in trouble for that? Yeah, I was on probation for it.
Really?
Yeah, I voted for him. I would have voted no.
But you voted for Trump's life.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hard way, not to do it.
But did you wear a mustache or anything?
No. Different time. I made a couple plans and I voted for another place someplace else.
I know, I'm having a big crisis because I honestly thought it was like libs that were doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm still on probation for it. Like, oh my God.
Oh man. No comments? All right.
I'm already going to number 2. Let's see what that is.
Oh, we want another one here? Okay.
This one is The Stout Got Something to Say by Smithwick's Brewery. Sorry, the label's a little bit worn. It's been in an ice chest, and I didn't get around to drinking it that weekend. But Smithwick's Brewery is not actually open yet. It's a home brewer. Kumba Smith, I believe, is his name. He and Danny Oliver are competing to see which person is going to be the first Black-owned brewery in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yeah.
And
That's something I want to hear about.
a few of his home brews, and they're good.
So I'm really wondering what that stout has to say.
I don't know. It's milk stout with cinnamon and coffee. We'll find out. Oh, it smells like cinnamon. It smells a lot like cinnamon.
So this sounds like one of those Christmas stouts.
Yeah, the coffee's dropped off quite a bit. It's mostly it's cinnamon and chocolate. Basically, is what I'm getting. It's kind of kind of like a mole sauce.
Ooh,
but without the sugar.
Ooh, wow.
It's tasty. This one is the lowest ABV beer that I got out of the fridge tonight. It's only 5.7%.
Oh, so you started high and dropped down half of what you were
I
drinking.
figured I should probably hit this one before, because all the other ones I have are over 10. So
I was going to call this a stout show, and I should have. I knew it.
I have that tendency to drift that direction.
But
Me too.
So does Doug. But Doug, well, usually when I run my mouth and say Doug has all stouts, he'll come out with like a Ghost, a double IPA, or something. So,
I got to keep you on your toes, man.
Right, and of course I can't be right, so it's fine.
I drink just about any beer style, but left to my own devices, I usually drift towards stouts.
Okay, so
over there saying, let's get Smitty on the show soon. I agree. That'd be great.
Who's Smitty?
Smitty, that's the owner of this fine brewery that's trying to get started right now. It's up in Collin County, which is just north of Dallas. Jerry Richard just posted a link to his website. He's got a Kickstarter going on right now, so go out there and support him.
All right. Well, I will. We'll put that up here in a second. Let's see this craziness. I think many of people have seen this, but I think it's worth seeing again.
The media said what? The media said Joe Biden's president.
Ha!
Wow. Yeah, I go by his church on a fairly regular basis. It's right there in downtown Dallas. I so far have not thrown any firebombs or anything like that. I'm a gentle soul, but
yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah, he's a special one.
I like how they zoomed in for the one black guy in the audience.
Right.
It's crazy. So right across the street from there.
Man. Yeah, and you should have known though after the election that there was going to be freakouts.
Yeah.
Long after, and they're still going on, unfortunately.
Oh,
And they're still going to go on. Dog, another stout. Let me guess.
No, an imperial ale. Salted caramel imperial ale from Southern Tier, baby.
Tomorrow's World Diabetes Day.
Yeah.
So you're getting started good with a nice pastry Southern Tier beer.
Well, that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
The same
Caramel
one.
smelling that is like just, I'm going to sock you right in the nose with all this caramel.
Southern Tier no longer distributes to Texas. They did for a long time. Really? They dropped out of Texas about a year or so ago.
I wonder why. That's weird.
I think there's just the craft beer scene in Texas has gotten big enough that they couldn't really compete from coming from the outside.
Sorry, it's catching all on my mustache.
Yeah.
Because of all the head.
That's one of the joys of facial hair is you can enjoy it again later.
That's where you're supposed to say that's what she said, I think. We're gonna move.
You know that's been said before too, but I haven't heard that shit in a long ass time. That is hilarious.
Okay. So that, like I said, caramel, a little bit of salt on it, but it's really just, it's a caramel bomb. It's really, Joel's like, over there.
It'd be really good on vanilla ice cream.
Oh, that would be awesome on vanilla ice cream for sure.
That goes with most of Southern Tier's dessert beers usually go really good on vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, make it afloat, as my wife said.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's good, but man, it's one. It's so, as most of them are, they're so sweet. It's like one is plenty.
Yeah. One is plenty more than you really want.
Well, this one like some of them like creme brulee stout and their chocolate is really good that way that it's not like sickeningly sweet. Like this is borderline on that.
I thought creme brulee was kind of sickeningly sweet, but
well,
each have their own taste, so that's why they brew all the different kinds of beer.
Yeah. Well, you got Greg.
Looks like a Nuclearis fruit beer.
Yeah, it's smelling kind of weird though. Crambic 2020.
Nice.
Yeah, it's their seasonal. The next seasonal is the apple ale, which I don't remember having. Have you ever had that one, Robert?
No, I don't think so.
I've had the crambic. I've never had the apple.
I'm not sure if I've had the crambic either.
Ooh,
it's quite good.
I need to make sure you get one then, Robert.
No, I'd love that.
This tastes much better than it smells. I'm almost getting like an alcohol-y, sulfury kind of smell off the nose. But this is a light. The cranberry is light. It's almost like a wine cooler type consistency and feel in the mouth. It's really, really light. Refreshing. Actually, this is weird. This doesn't come out in the summer or the spring.
Yeah, it seems like. Go ahead.
High carbonation, and very wine cooly. Like if this were in a wine cooler, it'd be a fucking damn good one. Trust me.
So I'm not usually a huge fan personally of fruit beers, but Nuclearis fruit beers, I've never had a bad one. They oh my god, they're just really, really good.
They're really, really good. Yeah. You love the which one do you love? The
I love that strawberry rhubarb.
Strawberry rhubarb.
Anything strawberry rhubarb I'm in on. So
yeah, Doug, you ever have it? You need to. I need to make sure you get some the next time it comes out. It's a season.
I didn't get that. Like I've had that cranbic one because, like I said, I work with a guy whose family's from Wisconsin, and when his family comes visits, they always bring him Nuclearis stuff. So
So do you remember it specifically, or was it a while ago?
I remember it being really excellent, but I didn't think because cranberry is like it can be kind of like really, really fucking tart if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's not at all.
No, That's what I remember being like surprised how you got the cranberry flavor without like the overwhelming tartness.
Boom, boom. This is very good. Loving it.
I see someone mentioning a rhubarb pie song. It makes me think of Garrison Keillor's "Bop Bop a Loo Bop a Rhubarb Pie."
Yes. Rhubarb pie song. Yes, yes. So, if it wasn't mentioned before, Robert's a certified cicerone who teaches, and he spreads his wonderful knowledge of beer and trying to bring education to people who want to learn, like Doug and me. So, Robert, before we get to our sponsor, do you have any styles that people should be hunting for to have for Thanksgiving? I was about to say to bring a Thanksgiving, but I'm pretty sure no one should be going anywhere.
People aren't traveling too much,
right? So, what kind of styles would you tell people to look for when they're doing their Thanksgiving?
So the fun thing about Thanksgiving meals is there's a lot of different flavors going on. I mean, you've got everything from the cranberry sauce, which is very bright, and to the more savory, the turkey and the mashed potatoes and the stuffing and stuff like that. And it's really something that's going to go with all of those. You almost, when in doubt, always go Belgian. Really, I'm a big fan of that philosophy. You get yourself like a nice saison or something like that, and it's just going to pair well with everything. It's just, you've got anything that's heavy. The saison's going to have plenty of bubbles to scrape the palate clean. If you've got anything that's it's got some spice to it, it's got some fruitiness to it, it's got some breadiness to it. It just kind of it goes well with anything. I think it's the best all around food to pair with. I mean, beer to pair with food in general.
So the fact that it's so diverse, and Thanksgiving is a diverse, like you don't know what's going to be on the table unless you're literally cooking it. That's where you're at. That's cool.
Now, if you've got some like sweet pie or something like that, or say maybe some sweet potato pie or pecan pie or pecan pie, as some of you up north say, and something like that. An IPA actually goes really good with that. The bitterness of the IPA and the sweetness of the pie kind of counteract each other, and then you get the fruitiness and all the other flavors. They kind of come together and they play with each other. So that's kind of fun too.
Absolutely. Mine is I like brown ales. I think they can maybe they can cross a lot of the the roastedness and bring some of that out. Even they might be nice with it, as you said, pecan pie. Fantastic. Doug, you have any
stouts?
I see Jerry over here saying Ralph here.
No, for me though, I'm not talking like not a dessert stout. I'm just talking like even just like Guinness or something like that. That's like a lower ABV,
more mild stout,
like dry stout. Those things I think are great with Thanksgiving food. Personally, even just your lighter fare beer I think is fine as well. But again, I don't have as diversified a palate as you guys.
So one of my secrets, it's not really that big a secret, is my palate's not really that good, but I've got a lot of knowledge type stuff. I've got a lot of know-how stuff, so that I can kind of fake it because I've got a kind of crappy palate. But good enough to, I'm a certified beer judge and a certified cicerone, so I was good enough to pass both of those tasting tests. So, yeah.
Right. Respect. And now it's
time for our sponsor.
Oh, I see the little things scrolling down there. I'm the sponsor. I'm supposed to talk now. Okay, so I've got a website. It's brewingmatters.com. I have not written a blog post in probably a good year or so. So how's that? I've got an Instagram that I post much more frequently too. Like every week or two, but I don't inundate you with every day, post every hour or anything like that. Mostly beer pictures. I'm teaching an online certified cicerone class right now. I've taught in person in the past. But now I'm doing it online because of COVID, and I'm trying to really switch more that direction to having the more online, just because it's easier. In person, that was a lot of fun. I kind of miss the in person because I get to bring in a lot of different things. We do malt teas, we sniff hops, and I bring in a lot of different things, and we don't have to pour a whole bottle and then waste it like you do when you're tasting 6 beers by yourself in a class online. When you've got a group class, everyone gets their little 2-ounce pour, and nothing's being wasted. So and that way also I've got a little bit more control over the beer and so on. But yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing, is teaching this class. Like I said, this class is a year-long class. I'm not taking anyone new until next year, going September through September. Basically, we're meeting for 2 hours on Zoom once every 2 weeks. Roughly every 2 weeks. There's going to be a couple of times where there's 3 weeks, but generally every 2 weeks. COVID willing, I'm going to be teaching the class from Portugal sometime in May because I've got a vacation.
Whoa.
So if COVID will allow it, I've got the flights booked. I found some really cheap flights, so it would be nice. And that means I'm going to be teaching y'all from 2 a.m. in Portugal. So anyway, Doug's in the class. I invited Greg to join the class, but he is busy with Civil Institute.
He's all fancy.
And there's a few other people I see in the chat over here. They're also in the class. But.
Yes. And regarding Portugal, man, that is a destination my wife and I really want to go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be there for about 2 weeks.
Damn.
Flying into and out of Lisbon, planning on spending about half the time in Porto area also. Yeah. Maybe a few days in Coimbra.
I'm not at all jealous.
No. I've got little Post-it notes with Portuguese translation for different things all around the house right now. Porta is door,
You got to know where to ask where the bathroom is. That's important.
Casa de baño.
Yeah.
So I've got all the little Post-it notes all around the house, and I'm working on learning the language. I'm working on learning German and Czech also, just for the cicerone class stuff. But right now I'm focusing primarily on Portuguese. So.
Well, you make me feel like a giant friggin' slacker. Learning 3 languages.
That's what I enjoy doing. So, that's what I enjoy doing.
Good times. And here's some good times.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're taking my tire? Is that what you're doing? Is that right? And why is that? Your tire's gone? So you just take other people's tire? I don't think you're going to take it. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you you're not going to take it. Yeah. Yeah. You don't do that to people's car. Okay? You don't do that to people's cars. So I just want to let you know. I just want to let you know that I have police coming on the way. People don't do that going to other people's cars. Just take it. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you that right now. See this? Yeah. I got cops coming right now. I don't think you get far, but go ahead. That's why I brought my truck here. Yeah. If I wanted to steal your tire, yeah. I think just try that though, right? You're not going to steal my tire. Okay. I'll take my rim off my tire and put it on your truck. Sure. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what it is, huh? That's what it is. Okay. That's right. We'll see. That's why I put my truck here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You don't think I work my ass off my truck too? Yeah. So why you take my tires? Yeah. Yeah. So you just take it? Oh, is that right? Oh, guys, I see that. You brought your jacket and everything else. So. I know. That's good. I'm not trying to be a fucking really? Because I work my ass off in this truck, man. I'm telling you, you don't know my life. You don't know that I need money? Yeah. No way. I don't believe that for a minute, buddy. Because I would have given you that chance to fucking get me like this. Okay, buddy. Okay. I could have just put a car like I was going through. Sure. Sure, buddy. Yeah. You just gonna take my seat and I whoop my ass too. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
How many people can use their phone today?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It's for a phone call.
Yeah.
Nobody's been able to make a phone call for the whole year.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Right? No. I looked at that on my truck.
I don't think it's that far.
Wow.
I'm confused. And I picked the video out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. So he was trying to steal the dude's tire, but he drove off.
Yeah.
So he didn't need the tire. Or
Well, he needed it for his vehicle, he said. I'm not sure why, because he drove off.
Yeah. Doug, can you make sense out of this?
No.
All right. Well,
I wish I could. Why not?
I mean, this is where,
up if you like, but
this is where we're at in this country with gaslighting. Like, this is where we're at. He stood in his face and said, "Well, I wasn't trying to steal your tire."
No, I wasn't.
What are you trying to do? Like, that's where we are now. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know.
Okay, great.
If you go like, "Hey man, what are you doing with my tire?"
He didn't have a
I have a back tire, and he was driving without a back tire.
Right.
Looked like it made it off the scene just fine.
I just don't know. Right. Right, Jerry.
Maybe he needed a spare tire.
Oh man. So
also, those vehicles, like those rims, did not even match. If you notice, the tires were different sizes.
They did look different size, yeah.
Driving like a car, like all cattywampus.
Yeah.
He tries to convince the guy that he was yeah. He tries to convince the guy that he was doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm doing you a favor by taking your tires so you can't drive around. I'm saving you gas.
This is where we are today.
Yep.
Exactly where we are.
Gathered up his tools real quick.
Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
So I'm out of beer. Should I pour another one or?
Yeah, go to it, man.
Doug, I was gonna ask Doug. Doug, you look like you're done. What's going on?
Robert first. Guess first.
So I think I saw
Beauty
Jeff Pepper on here. Did I see Jeff Pepper in the chat room earlier? He provided me with this Black is Beautiful out of Oak Highlands. Not a fancy label at all, but
The bib.
Doug,
Oak Highlands Brewing out of Dallas, Texas.
Doug, you see any bibs around you yet?
That's it. Not any from my local breweries at all. I've only had 2, and that's because I think so, you gave me or somebody sent me one, and then I found one from Harpoon at the grocery store here, and that's it.
About a third or so, quarter maybe. I don't know, maybe a quarter of the DFW Dallas-Fort Worth local breweries have done it. I've only missed out on 2 of them. The meadery and the cidery, I missed on both of those. But all the breweries so far, I've managed to snag myself one. I haven't tasted them all yet, but I think I've got 27 of them that I've managed to get my hands on. It's not terrible.
That doesn't
I see Jeff's waiting to know what I thought about this one.
Right.
You can just keep on waiting, Tepper.
Mm-hmm. Kind of boozy. It's got a little bit of a high alcohol burn thing going on. It's not as smooth as I would like. Not as smooth as the Trillium was. But as far as the balance between the sweet and bitter, it's pretty well balanced. But yeah, it's a little bit hot on the boozy aspect.
Did it say what the ABV was on that?
10.1. But I've had beers that were 10.1 that were not hot, so it doesn't have to be hot. They probably got their fermentation temperature a little too high or something, and got some of those alcohol fumes going on.
Yes. I know that.
I had Trinity cider, but yeah, that's the cidery I saw around here that had it, but I did not get my hands on one of those. Didn't Breaking Brew Meadery have one too, Jerry? I think I saw that they had one, or they were going to. Got my spreadsheet up.
Doug,
Spreadsheet here.
I'm such a geek.
That is far too organized, man.
he's a spreadsheet dude. Yes.
All right, so yeah. Combs Baltic Porter. Combs? Not sure. It's Polish beer. 9.9% ABV. I like Baltic Porters, so
yeah, me too.
Whether their beers, this is the one, Greg, I said before, that their line that we get, which is only 3 before until they finally added this one, they're all $5 for this bottle, which is a 20-ounce bottle.
Nice. World Beer Cup winner. I see that on the label. It's not like I knew it ahead of time or anything. I just saw it on the label.
Bronze award. So it's a major award. Sorry. Oh, here it goes. Foam away. I had to pour it all over the freaking place. So now that I'm wearing half the foam.
Yo, Jerry, we just started booking next year. I'm gonna hit you up.
Oh man, that's excellent. I don't know. That's like all the things you want in a Baltic Porter right perfectly in one sip.
Nice.
Oh, that's
good. That was one of those. My wife just discovered Baltic Porters like a year or so ago, and she was so happy. She's like, "Oh, this is really good." And I said, "I told you it would be."
Yeah, it's got this. Like I said, I don't even have the vocabulary to describe Wyatt because I just know I like them. I just never really explored the particulars, but man, that's really, really, really good. and the idea that it's $5 for a 20-ounce bottle is pretty ridiculous for how good it is.
Very nice.
I'm drinking Bedlam. I think I've had this one on the show before. It's Ale Asylum's Indian Pale or Belgian IPA, but not too Belgian-y. It's very, very approachable if you are not a Belgian yeast person and you're an IPA person. Very good. The citra hops stand out, though, and pretty much overpower, for the most part, the Belgian yeast in this bad boy. Pretty good.
Nice.
I love a good Belgian yeast. I love a good Belgian. I haven't had a really good Belgian IPA, though. Not that this one isn't, but what I mean by really good, I mean really Belgian yeast. It's there, it's prominent. This one is kind of like hidden in the back.
Yeah.
You can taste it, but it's not, it's not promenading all over the beer. If that's the word.
You got to be careful in that style because some of those hops out there don't play well with Belgian yeast, and they just you got to be careful. But I've had some really good Belgian IPAs though.
What hops would you say don't play well with Belgian yeast?
I was afraid you're going to ask that. I don't know.
Okay, you know that some of them don't. Okay. That's fair. I'm not expecting you to know every answer. I was just curious because I know very little.
Before I brewed one, though. I certainly before I brewed it.
Right.
It's one of those things you got to be aware of, but if you can look it up later, you don't have to remember all the details.
No, yeah, and there's so many hops too, especially now in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
So what's going on down in your area there with the pandemic as it applies to breweries? Are we still seeing? I mean, we're still curbside, and
most of our breweries now in Dallas are Dallas area are most of them are open now. They've got limited seating on the inside, at least the beer garden area, patio area. You've got pretty much, they've got the tables separated by a good 6 feet or so, but the patio areas are good. And this time of year is better patio weather for us than it was back in July and August. So it's everyone's talking about people going inside. Well, not for Texas. This is when we go outside. So but yeah, most of them are open now. At least the outdoor patio area, and most of them are the tap room as well, at least for limited seating. There's still a few. Peticolas is one of the notable ones that's down here in Dallas. Peticolas brew some really great beers, but their tap room's still closed. There's a couple others that are still closed. There's let's see, Lakewood, I think, is opening up maybe this weekend or maybe just a couple of days ago. That's another great brewery. I know that, Greg, you've had Temptress before from Lakewood Brewing. A few different variations from that. But not that I'm leaning towards that or anything. But
any permanent closures?
Yeah, it seems like there's been one or two, but not really very much.
Good to hear.
Yeah, let's see. And there were a couple of them that closed before the pandemic hit. It was just, they've been struggling kind of for a while, and then they closed. I know down in Austin area, they've had a couple of permanent closures too for a couple of the big boys down in the Austin area. North by Northwest was one of them. Up here, I'm trying to think of who it was. Rabbit Hole Brewing up here. Seems like there's another one or two. Small Brew Pub, I don't remember if they closed right before the pandemic hit or they had closed during the pandemic, but there's a few of them that have been, I think Brain Dead's been kind of close, but they've managed to pull it out, and so far they're doing all right again. So, and I like Brain Dead a lot. It's a nice little brewery in the Deep Ellum neighborhood of Dallas, just a little bit wet, just a little bit east of downtown.
Like I said, I like Brain Dead.
Yes. Good man. They've got a great patio, interesting food. They've got a bacon and beer flight, but they got 4 different kinds of bacon paired with 4 different kinds of beer. It's kind of cool.
All right.
Of the 4 bacons, I think the duck bacon was the best, but bacon. I thought that the pairing, the hazy IPA with the chicken fried pork bacon, I thought was the pairing.
Stop.
They also had beef bacon.
Jeez.
That sounds like a lot of heart disease to pair with your beer.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, you see something like a bacon beer pairing, you just got to go for it.
Oh, it sounds delicious. I was not poo-pooing the bacon beer pairing at all. I was just like, wow.
Jerry's pointing out that there have been a few breweries in the DFW area that have opened during the pandemic. Maple Branch just opened up about a month or so ago. They've got a beautiful German beer garden, great gate out front, nice big wrought iron. They've got a fountain made with beer taps. It's nice. They're brewing some solid beers. I know Stuart Mabel from my homebrew club days, and he's always brewed. He's won a few national awards. Vector Brewing out in East Dallas, kind of Garlandish, almost Lakewood area of Dallas. They just opened up recently. They've got some delicious pizzas, some great beers. Little known fact: one of the owners of Lakewood Brewery, the female half of the owners, is the model for the Temptress silhouette on Lakewood Brewing's Temptress bottles. So got a nice little thing that most people don't know. And let's see, False Idol just opened up over in the Tarrant County side over by Fort Worth, up in Richland Hills. I know that means a lot to you, but basically Fort Worth, northeast Fort Worth. So, there have been a few that have opened up recently too. I think really, we may have had more openings during the pandemic than closings. Kind of crazy.
That's great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say False Idol is a great name for a brewery.
Yeah, they're brewing some good beers too.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. This is one we used to ask a lot, and we don't anymore. we always talk about like everybody has kind of a favorite. What's a style of beer that you wish people brewed more of? Like, you got a gazillion IPAs, you got 50 different variants of stouts. Is there a style that you wish you saw more of?
Yeah, I think that Baltic Porter you've got's a nice one. But really, I'd like to see some more of the sessionable beers, believe it or not. I'd like to see some more of like some British bitters or some dark milds, something like that. I'd like to see some of those.
Yeah, the dark mild, we were supposed to have that in that last class, and I tell you, I find a dark mild at all.
Not unless you're in England. You're not.
And I was just like, oh, man, I got all these except the dark mild. And then I was talking to Jeff, just like I couldn't find one of those either. Like, okay.
And that's the thing on the cicerone exam is you go to take the cicerone exam, and in theory there could be a dark mild on that exam, but they're not going to have one on the tasting test because they're not going to be able to find it. So don't worry about the fact that you haven't tasted it because, well, they're not going to put it on the test. It'll be on the written test probably, but it's not going to be on the taste test because they're not going to be able to find it either.
Mm-hmm. Actually, was on a taste test. I think I got that one down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There. I think heavies. I think that that was one of the things at the beer bloggers conference last year in Montana was every brewery up there in Montana had a wee heavy. It just, some of them were seasonal, but most of them were year-round beers. Wee heavies.
I like wee heavy too. That's a good beer.
Wee heavies.
Greg and I talked many times when he went up there. It was like Scotch ales everywhere. I'm like,
all over the place.
Scotch ales everywhere. Everywhere you look, Scotch ales.
Yes. So wee heavies and all that.
I love me some malts. So yeah, throw me anything that's malty. I'm good.
That's Montana, Malt City.
Yeah. I cut my teeth on the craft beer world some 25 years ago, drinking wee heavies and Doppelbocks and things like that. That was kind of my introduction to the non-Coors Bud Light.
You went like you didn't just start. You just like, I'm going to jump into super deep end of the high dive.
Yeah, it's kind of that's where I cut my teeth, and those are the kinds of beers that I still like because I still am drinking the stouts, still drinking the 1050s, still drinking all those.
Yeah, tell everybody it's if you guys know if you know Robert, you know his love of 1050. Let's talk about 1050. So where did your love of this beer come from, and tell people a little bit about your love of this beer.
So 1050 to me is the ultimate imperial stout. It's thick, it's luscious, it's rich, it's decadent. It's got chocolate, it's got coffee, it's got so many wonderful dark roasted flavors. It's thick, it coats the glass. You can never drink the last drop of 1050. It just, you drink it and it's all gone, and then you set the glass down. About 5-10 seconds later, it's somehow or another it's settled down, and there's more to drink. Oh, okay, I'll have another drop or two. A shot glass of 1050 will eclipse the sun. I mean, it is a thick, dark beer. I love that beer. It's my favorite beer. Okay, there's one more person on Untappd who has checked in more 1050 than I have, and he cheats. I know he cheats because every time I catch up with him, he all of a sudden checks in like 6 of them a day for the next 3 weeks without pictures. I guarantee he's cheating. But other than that, I'm the number one 1050 checker-inner on Untappd in the world. So
in the world,
probably 2-3 cases of it in the beer fridge right now.
Damn. So this is just not the barrel-aged one, right?
That's the normal one. I've got a few barrel-aged ones out in the fridge too, but I prefer the regular one. So it's the barrel-aged one's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll drink that all day, every day, but I prefer the regular one. I like it better.
Also, you are pretty good at bouncing one of those 1050s off a basketball. That's a skill.
That was a one-off shot that I did, and it succeeded, and I posted the video.
I was like, what?
In fact, I think that's still my Facebook.
Shotgun it. Oh my God.
I think that's still my Facebook profile picture is me balancing that 1050 on the basketball before the bounce. I saw a video. I was like, oh, I got to try that. And then I was like, well, I got to try it with 1050, of course.
So you did that. Did you do that in the first try? How many takes did it take to do that?
That was the first try. The only time I've ever done it.
All right. So listen, I'm a basketball player. Well, I'm too old and fat now, but back in the day, I played basketball and actually played in collegiate level, and I couldn't do that with a basketball with a beer.
I did start with. I took a little 1 liter or extra pint size, or I don't know, a water bottle, and with the lid on, and just did a couple of sample bounces just to see how it would bounce. But the first one that I did where the lid was open and everything was that can of 1050, and it worked. I mean, it was like my second or third time. I am not a sports guy at all. I went onto Amazon and found the cheapest basketball I could find just so I could do this video. Got myself a little $4 or $5 video basketball, got it delivered to me, filled it up with air, and did the video.
And have you used the basketball since?
Let's see. I did try to do a pitcher of beer with it, but that didn't work so well. So basically, the pitcher is too heavy, and it didn't bounce well. And the pitcher actually went up in the air, and when I caught it upside down, so there was nothing to drink. But I did a practice run on that with water. So what I did instead, I got a 40-ounce thermos and filled it with about 3.5 beers, and did that with the basketball instead. And even then, I missed it. It went over my head, and I missed it, and I went over and just chugged what was left. But that wasn't 1050. That was Coco Bueno. It's community brewing here in Dallas. It's a mole beer. It's got cinnamon and chili peppers and chocolate and all sorts of stuff in it. So someone was saying that they expected me to do a 1050 shotgun tonight.
Hey, I decided.
I've got a 1050 and a barrel age. I can do either one, whichever one you prefer if you want.
I say you go with your favorite.
Go with classic.
Yes.
Basketball video first.
That's fine. Go for it.
Yeah, another video.
You got it queued up and ready to go?
I something. Is this it?
What kind of voice is that? I think I got it.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the one with the pitcher. I tried it with a pitcher of water first. I've got voiceover too on it.
Okay, I decided to try this again with a pitcher. Experimenting with water first, see how that works. And let's go. And yeah, that's a waste. That's not fun. Let's try a different kind of container here. What I've got here, I'm filling up a thermos. It holds a little over 40 ounces. I'm using Community Beer Company's Coco Bueno, which is a Mexican chocolate stout spiced with cinnamon and peppers. 6.5% ABV. 3 beers in, and it looks like there's still a little bit more space, so I went back and got a 4th beer, pouring it in right now. Okay, that's a full puppy right there. Let's balance it on basketball. Height is the secret to getting something heavy to bounce high enough. And here we go.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I'm going to just go ahead and drink it anyway. There's still about half of it left. So there we go.
Oh, this is great. This is great. I never saw that.
Make good videos too, you know.
I never saw that one. All right,
that was fun. Yeah, the 1050 is a much more successful video.
Yeah, let's see. Is it this one? Yeah, it is. Okay. Now I found it. Okay, we found it.
Let's do it.
This is it, right?
That looks like it. In my backyard. Airplane flying over. Bird in the background. I did spill a little bit, but that's because it's a very foamy beer. You know, it's when it's shaken up like that. Oh, nice freeze frame with my tummy showing.
Dude, join the crowd. We're all in that crowd.
Right.
That was excellent, though.
But yeah, I was happy with how successful that was. Like I said, I haven't done another one since. I thought here, why ruin perfection?
Right.
I just can't believe it shot that far in the air.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a swimmer. I mean, I used to be. Obviously, I'm not anymore. But yeah, I was a swimmer. And part of the reason I was a swimmer is because I can't run, can't throw, can't catch, can't do any of those things. So I was very excited that I caught that. Very excited I caught it.
Good times, good times.
So I just finished for election. I was doing a daily beer chug where I was singing a little song and doing the 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 days till election. So I did 99 days in a row of let's chug one down, vote out that clown. And so I just finished that, and I'm working on losing weight now. So I'm not planning on doing one till Inauguration Day, which, by the way, inauguration is 67 days, 13 hours, 56 minutes, and 16 seconds. Not that I'm counting.
It only feels like 8 years away.
You're not counting, though. No, you're not counting.
No, not at all. It's not like I've got it over here on the screen.
Oh, shit. Cheers.
Okay, so should I shotgun this 1050?
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Damn, those are some skills.
That's a first on our show.
Nice.
We've never had anybody shotgun a beer on our show, ever.
It splattered all over my screen. I hope I didn't get it on the microphone. Should I do the barrel age too while I'm at it?
Yeah, them and some skills. Yes.
That
was the barrel age while I'm at it.
Oh, Doug, do we have another beer? Are we?
Yeah.
Clearly, Robert has. He's got one right in his hand.
Well, right. Barrel aged? I can do the barrel aged too.
Lord, yours.
I'm trying to do this little baby session stout here. Meanwhile, this man over here. Nice. Nice. Post production is going to be fun.
Yeah, man. Post production is going to be interesting. And Robert, shotgun, not a bottle. No, not a bottle.
My screen's got beer spattered all over it now because these beers have been sitting here warming up. It's easier to shotgun a beer that's warm than it is to shotgun a cold beer. So they've been warming up a bit, and so when I poked the hole, it just all over the place.
Yeah. So, question for you, Robert.
Uh-huh.
Have you had the Belgian Beaver Mexican chocolate peanut butter beer?
I have not.
Wow. I think I've had the peanut butter beer, not the Mexican chocolate.
Belching Beaver doesn't distribute here.
They're starting to get here. I don't know if I want to go to a stout.
I'm all out of stouts. Oh, other than the one that's
your stomach says do it, not.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing. I had air supply in my brain after a lot of stouts, but I'm not singing.
JG, you want what? The Mexican chocolate peanut butter beer? Or you want a barrel aged 1050? Or both?
Not mutually exclusive.
Belching Beaver is out of San Diego, right?
Excuse me?
Belching Beaver is out of San Diego, right?
I really don't know.
I've heard of them, but I don't remember where they're from.
San Diego.
Let's find it. Milton Beaver Brewery. Cali? Here, California? Cali?
I thought it was San Diego. I could be wrong.
Oceanside, Vista. Oceanside, California, Vista, California, San Diego, California. So yeah. Around there for sure.
Went to San Diego just about 10 months or so ago, 11 months ago, right before the pandemic. It's a nice little trip. We had an Airbnb on a boat there in the harbor. It was kind of cool. Never stayed in an Airbnb boat before.
Ooh, cool.
Wow, that sounds like fun. Yeah, San Diego is a beautiful place and a great beer city, as you probably know.
Yeah. My wife informed me that it was not a beercation, so we only hit like one brewery. We hit Stone. I don't think we hit any other breweries, just Stone. But,
the original Stone?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that place is
it's nice.
It's a destination.
If we only get one, I'm going to go to something that I want to see. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's like if you go to the Philly area, you go to Victory. Victory's brew pub is insanely awesome. It's really, really fantastic. I think. Greg, you've been there, yeah? When you went to your Philly beer trip?
Victory? Yes.
It's outside. It's not in Philly. It's outside. It's good, 45 minutes to an hour outside, I think.
Downingtown?
I think that's right, yeah.
Something like that. Yep.
So when you come to Dallas, I live about halfway between Dallas and Fort Worth. And, I'll show you around. It's both of them have their own beer scene, their own everything's, the two cities are different. And I can be in downtown Dallas in about 15 minutes from my house. I can be in downtown Fort Worth in about 20, 25 minutes from my house. So it's pretty cool. I get to play in all playgrounds.
Yeah, and your climate, Doug and I talk about how our climates where we live aren't really good. What's the word? It's going to be hard to sustain a lot of the breweries here through the winter if they can't have people inside. Yeah. Whereas climate is definitely more open and willing to having outdoor shit, even to this day. Where here in Wisconsin, we're pretty much done with that. Now there's a brewery still trying to do it, especially a lot of close to mine are still trying to do it, but it's hit and miss. And when it rains,
they've been for a few weeks now, at least maybe a month.
Look at that!
They're not going to be open again until nice weather again.
Yeah, I have 2 of their shirts. Haha.
You have 2 of their shirts?
Yeah, I got one because of our friend Kyle Thompson posted about their thing that we discussed on the politics show. So
I was willing to throw some money their way.
Yep.
If not for the pandemic, I would have been there already. But I think if not for the pandemic, I wouldn't have had a reason to go. So I'm kind of, because I don't know if he would have, they would have been acting and doing what they've been doing if it wasn't for the pandemic. So it's it's cool. I can't wait to be able to go up there because I'm going up there. I want to talk. I don't know if you guys saw the latest on them. Or do you guys follow them do you guys follow what's going on?
I follow them on Facebook, but I don't necessarily see everything they post.
Yeah, neither do I. But they came out with a Biden Harris beer.
Nice.
And go check it out because then of course there's a shitload of comments. But he's just I wish if I wasn't scared to go out, I would have went up. But he had a bottle release, beer can release of this beer, and he just goes off. He's just like, look, you don't have a mask, you're not getting any. I don't really care. And it's just really like he's just really pointed and like shh. So check it out. It's pretty funny.
It's like super lucky for the good guys.
Yeah, it happened last week. So this is one last thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about is so, and Doug, I want to ask you too. So what are breweries around in your area doing for these releases? My example is next week on our Badger Beer Hour, next Wednesday, we're going to be talking to Lakefront Brewing's brand manager and hopefully owner about Lakefront Brewing has this beer called Black Friday. And it's one of the best barrel-aged beers in Wisconsin. It is fantastic. It runs up against any other barrel age stout that we got in the state. It's fantastic. But the thing about it was you had to go to Lakefront, stand in line on Black Friday, and wait to get it. That was the only way to get it. So now for the pandemic, they're actually releasing it to distro. So have you seen any of these big releases that normally have people waiting in line? Are they doing things differently? Or are they doing the same? Or what are you seeing? What are you seeing, Rob? You seen any yet?
I mean, we don't have really a lot of those anyway here. We don't have like the, Dark Lord Day or what was that one that Car City has? I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah. I can never say it, actually.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Kahuna Fu or whatever it's called, or Zuma Fu, I don't know. Wait, Zuma Fu is that little rodent guy. I should have another Tin City. So we don't really have things like that here in the DFW area so much, but they still have the beer releases. But I mean, they're doing the same thing as they're doing with the rest of their beers. They're just announcing we've got it and it's to go only or whatever. And but there's not big long lines or anything like that. It's more of a place your order online, come get it to go. What we've really seen most of on those is the Black is Beautiful releases. Most of them have been place your order online, and if you're not there that first day, chances are fairly good you ain't going to get it.
Gotcha. Doug, you seen anything?
Well, no, we don't have a lot of big releases or the North Brewery will do where they release a round of 4 stouts. They're known for their stouts. Greg's had a few of them, and
so the short answer is no.
Yeah, not really. Now they have like a walk-up window you can go and order, or you can do touchless pickup and all that jazz. But yeah, they're not doing like the stand in line stuff. We don't have, because where I am, there's just not a lot of that anyhow. So
now, Greg, a short answer, Greg.
There's not a lot of it here, but the one that really, really does it is Lakefront, and they're just doing something different. But that's what I was asking. But did anyone see the post from Monk's Cafe?
I have not seen that. I'm curious what that was about.
Yeah, Daniel, tell us what's up. Jerry says the only thing similar here is Jester King.
Yeah, Jester King. Yeah, I forget about them because they're way down in Austin. I don't drive for beer.
So Jerry, are they making people stand in line, or are they just releasing it to the distro, or are they saying you got to come and get a pint? I don't know, because again, standing in line for beer at this point is not something people should be doing, and it's not something the damn brewery should be encouraging. So that's those are double whammy there. What's up, Doug?
The only thing I stood in line for recently was to vote.
Yeah,
and the only reason I stood in line to vote was because there was such a weird vibe about mail-in ballots, and even though I live in New York State, which is considered a liberal state, there's only 3 parts of it that are really liberal. Everything else is Trump central. So
well, you're a blue state
in person because I just didn't want to take the chance.
We'll just call you a blue state. How about that?
Blue state's fair.
The ironic thing is that Texas is considered to be a very red state, but really you've got the Austin area, the Houston area, the Dallas area, and the El Paso area, which is where most of the population is. Those always vote blue. So but there's still a whole lot of people out in the middle of nowhere that are voting red.
And there's a whole lot of nowhere in Texas. So
yeah, there's a lot of nowhere in Texas. And that's really, I went down to the Frio River, which is down a little bit west of San Antonio. It's about a 5-hour drive, 6-hour drive, something like that. A few weeks ago, like I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, and passed by the center of Texas. In fact, there's a historic marker on the side of the road, center of Texas. But it was out in the middle of nowhere, and God, it's Trump centric out there. There are all these flags, Trump flags and Texas flags and Confederate flags and American flags and a lot of them, the big ranches had like 4 flags. There was a Trump flag, an American flag, a Texas flag, and a Confederate flag. It's just that's the way the middle of nowhere is, but you don't see it here in the Dallas area.
They do realize that like the American flag and the Confederate flag are not supposed to be in the same thing.
You would think.
Fought a whole war over that one.
Yeah, but Texas flag was also, we were our own country at one point. So that's 3 of the 6 countries that have flown over the Texas, over the state of Texas, are Confederate and Texas and United States. So that's half. We get Spain and France, and I forgot who the other one was. Then we'll have them all. Mexico, Spain, France, and Mexico, and then we'll have all 6 of the flags, which is where the whole Six Flags theme parks came from. Six Flags over Texas. So.
Then passes on. It looks like Monk's Cafe is closing temporarily.
Oh, that's sad. I hope they're still distributing their beer. That's a nice beer. It's kind of on the side for Flanders Red, but it's still actually. There's some discussion about whether it's a Flanders Red or an Ode Brune, because it really, I think, matches up better with Ode Brune. The brewery doesn't specify whether it's an Ode Brune or a Flanders Red. They just say Flanders Sour. But the Untapped, I think Untapped has it as a Flanders Red. I think Beer Advocate has it as an Ode Brune. Anyway, it's a good beer though. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, I think Daniel was talking to this about. He sent us this in reference to where we're talking about how many breweries aren't going to be able to make it through the winter. We just have we're also too having a lot of places just closed for the winter. We'll be back during the spring. We're closing during the winter. We've seen a bunch of restaurants do that. I haven't seen in a few bars. But yeah, it's just gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for the virus, but it's also gonna be rough for the local businesses that can't be outside. And the breweries that have remained open have been able to remain open either doing curbside or doing the outdoor, distancing kind of thing going on. So
ignoring common sense.
Excuse me?
Or just ignoring common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them I don't see that much here doing that. But I know what's going on. But
so
I don't know.
In Dallas County, we've got Judge Jenkins is like a county judge, and he's put various different limitations on restaurants and bars above and beyond what the governor is doing for the state. And really, I think it needs to be done like that. I think that Texas is such a huge state that what's going on here has nothing to do with something that's going on, in. I used to sell HUD houses for a living, and my territory was 12 counties. It's basically Dallas, Fort Worth, and Denton, and the 3 counties that surround. All the counties that surround them. That territory was bigger than 12 of the states in the United States. It's a huge area, and that's just a little pocket of North Texas. It's a huge state. It really is, and I think that really the decisions about what needs to be closed really needs to be governed on a more local level. But our governor he's not in on that. So it's he's all, nope, we're going to do it like this statewide, and So.
Yeah, we have a Democratic governor, but he's hamstrung by a Republican legislator and a Republican Supreme Court. So anything he does, they don't like, they just take to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court says "fuck you." Yeah. So that's kind of that's exactly where we're at. And I'm not even going to try to pull up the whole, Wisconsin. I showed it to Doug here and there. The whole Wisconsin virus. The whole state is red. The whole state is red. Not half, not a quarter. And Wisconsin has, outside of Milwaukee, you talk about city areas, outside of Milwaukee and Madison, and Green Bay a little bit.
I'm just saying there's 725 days election for the Texas governor.
What are you? but what are you people doing? So I asked my friends up north, is this their anecdotal evidence? They're screaming about quote unquote out state license plates. Okay, so we're blaming people in Minnesota and Illinois and Iowa. That's what we're doing. So all you guys are social distancing and doing everything that's right up there. And what? Like out of state? Nah, I'm not. Again,
they're the only ones with their noses exposed. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and I don't know. Everybody has an excuse to do whatever. I have an excuse to go to the bar. I have an excuse to have Thanksgiving with 400 people. I have an excuse to go to a wedding. I have an excuse to. Everybody has their excuse, but when it comes down to it happening, it's just scary, man. I'm staying home and I'm cool with it.
So I work at medical school. I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the imagination, but I work with doctors. And UT Southwestern Medical School, it's a nationally recognized big time medical school. And the doctors I work with are in the, I work in internal medicine, which includes infectious diseases. It includes epidemiology. So those are the doctors I work with, and they're not taking their families out to eat at restaurants. And until they take their families out to eat at restaurants, I'm not taking my family out to eat at restaurants. Patio, okay. Inside, no, we're not doing it. We're not gathering for Thanksgiving. I'm not going down to see my parents and my sister down in Austin for Thanksgiving. We're staying at home. We're gonna make our own Chicago style pizza right here at home. My wife's from Chicago. She makes a great pizza. We're gonna have our own thing going on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's from inner city Chicago, Ukrainian village.
And she makes so we're not trying to get into this fight, Doug, but I bet I don't know.
Like Chicago versus New York pizza.
And Robert would agree. Robert's wife is
one of them is a pizza, so that's not even a conversation.
Right.
I mean, they're very different.
That's what we're going to get into.
Yeah, it's like comparing a fruited Berliner Weiss to an Imperial Stout. They're very different. That being said, I like Imperial Stouts better. I like Chicago pizza better.
But it's not pizza, though. It's something else.
It's a pizza casserole.
Delicious. It's delicious. It's a pie.
Well, it's a pizza casserole. It's an event. You show up, you place your order, you get it 45 minutes later, and you sit down and you enjoy it, or you can use it as a weapon. It's dense enough you can knock someone out with it. But it is absolutely wonderful. That it does. My favorite pizza is Chicago style pizza.
Oh, I'm not doubting it's delicious. I'm just saying that's a pie, and I love pie. So I'm not disillusioned by thinking that I wouldn't eat it. I'd eat the shit out of it.
It's a pizza lasagna, basically, kind of.
But would she argue that? Does she argue that it's pizza? Yes or no?
She calls it pizza, but they're both called pizza.
It's kind of like everybody has their sort of like local version of different style foods, and that's just their style of pizza. There's a style of pizza in Scranton area, Pennsylvania, that is called Old Forge style pizza, and it is the grossest fucking pizza I've ever had in my life because they top it with American cheese.
Oh, no.
That's just weird.
It's gross. It's fucking gross.
I like American cheese, but not on a pizza.
I know what you're. I was like, I know what you're talking about. I grew up in Allentown, so that's not far from
cheeseburger, no problem. But not on a pizza.
It's almost rubbery on a pizza.
No, I know what you're talking about.
American cheese is good like a burger or something.
Yeah, great on a burger because it melts beautifully. It's great on a burger.
Oh hell,
it's gross.
Yeah. Whoever said that wins. No.
What I'm gonna tell you, out there is like the folks of Old Forge, which is like a pseudo suburb of Scranton, they are all in. It's Old Forge style pizza or nothing. And I'm like, all right, great. You can have that. I'll eat all the good pizza over here.
It's fine. It's still pizza. It's just maybe not.
No. That offends me more than the no gravy people.
They put the pizza with the white sauce. They put pizza with barbecue sauce. They can do all those things. They're still pizza. They're just not as good as the real deal.
No.
And by the way, Doug, yes, I love New York pizza too. New York style pizza too. I mean,
it's a different thing.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, it's yummy.
Yeah. Also, for the record, I don't care whoever hears. If you're from Scranton, guess what? I don't give a shit. I lived in Scranton for a while. Old Ford pizza sucks.
No, Old Ford pizza sucks.
The only thing I know about Scranton is from The Office, so you know.
Don't go to Scranton.
I worked in Scranton during that when that show was popular, and I just fucking that's part of the reason why I hate that show. But
hey, what's the only good thing to come out of Scranton?
Jerry McNamara.
Okay.
So my wife has watched the Office series. My wife watched the Office series from start to finish like 3 times during this pandemic.
Hey, good for her. Most of my family loves The Office. I can't. Now, to be fair to everybody, I am not a person who likes a lot of comedies or sitcoms. That's not really a jam.
You don't like many things.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm with you. I don't watch TV hardly ever.
Talk about Old Ford pizza.
Okay, Old Ford pizza is shit.
So
I'm a New Yorker and I have standards.
I love this. This is like Vera on Cheers. I keep saying it. It's great. No, I said the only good thing to come out of Scranton is Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He was from Scranton. He was born there.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's where I'm at. Anyway, people disagree with you, so.
They can disagree with me all they want. They're wrong.
Wow. Okay. Doughy pan pizza is nasty. Got to get that crust right.
That's Kelly, by the way.
Yeah, but
I mean, good Chicago pizza isn't doughy. I mean, the crust is right.
No, but she's right though. Doughy pizza is bullshit. Right. Yeah.
So what we've been doing lately is
we've been looking at an orange square on the pizza. Yes, right, Doug. Right? Isn't it like with they literally put the slice right on, right?
Yeah, it's a white American cheese though. They use the white American cheese. There's orange American cheese and there's white American cheese. And I'm going to tell you, it's like it melts, but it feels like rubber.
Yeah.
Like so gross.
No. Detroit and New Haven styles, and there's also New Rhode Island style.
Yeah, apparently the New Haven, Connecticut thing is like an actual pizza style. I've never had it. I don't know. What's Detroit style pizza?
So Detroit style is like Detroit style reminds me more of Sicilian.
Oh, okay.
Remember Sicilian? But they put the sauce on top, but it's in like lines. It's pretty good. I've had it once. It's pretty good because we came out here and we're like, we want Sicilian pizza, and nobody has it. In fact, I don't know. I've never seen Sicilian pizza outside of Philly. And Sicilian, we're talking about Sicilian, right?
We have, yeah.
Right. And
tell me about Sicilian pizza. What makes it Sicilian?
It's in a square pan, right, Doug?
Okay. It's called a tray. Yeah, it's what
it's tray.
Called a tray.
Like,
and it's thick.
Yeah,
like
it's
we
like,
call it grandma pizza down here.
So if you had New York style pizzas this thick and Chicago style this like this,
yeah,
Sicilian's like kind of right in the middle.
Okay, yeah, down here we call that grandma style pizza.
Okay,
and I like it. Yeah,
squares on a pan.
I like it.
Right, so it's cooked in a square pan, like a big square pan, and then
that's the way I make it. Actually, when I make it at home, that's the way I make it.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Now that's kind of when I'm sorry, when Kelly said that it's doughy. Sometimes that could be a little bit doughy if it's not, like she said. You got to get that
right.
Yeah. Right. And I think maybe
that's like Chicago style pizza they have when they cook it in that pan and they get that nice crust on the outside. Mm-hmm. That's delicious.
Yes. Oh yeah, that black crust. So, yes. So New Haven style. Look at this. We're going. Robert. The best part about the show is we get on tangents and we have no idea where the hell.
One day it's been gravy. Like it just goes anywhere. It's great.
No, today it's pizza. So New Haven style pizza is locally known as a pizza. It's a style of thin crust, cold fired. Oh, fuck.
Pizza.
Yes, that sounds really good. So, thin crust or thick crust? Where are we at?
No, that's
Where
I
you
like
at?
Both.
yeah. So I will say I favor a thicker crust. I like the round crust end.
I'm all about the Chicago style pizza. I think that is one of the most brilliant inventions in the world. That being said, there's an old saying about pizza. It's like sex. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
That's a fair point. Unless it's Old Forge pizza, because that shit sucks. Rectangular tray, baked dough.
I mean, I'll take a Totino's and sprinkle some more ingredients on it and stuff, and then throw it in the oven. I'm good.
The standards are low there.
Yeah, my wife is like keeps me eating better food
for us.
Huh? Yeah. So Rhode Island bakery pizza, it's a thicker crust than most, right? But thinner than New York style Sicilian. And the sauce is very thick, almost like a paste. Wow. Maybe I need to start traveling for pizza.
Can I give you so I live near Binghamton, and there's a style of pizza here that is very specific to Binghamton, because Binghamton is known for Speedies. Speedies is this marinated chicken, or you can use marinated basically any meat, but it's like a marinade that's not quite Italian. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just really good.
Okay.
But they make chicken speedy pizza, which is basically like white pizza, but with this chicken speedy stuff interspersed in it, and it is fucking delicious.
It sounds good. How far are you from Binghamton again?
5 miles.
Really?
That's close.
Yeah, you know what?
It didn't feel that way.
If you ever come my way again, I will make sure you have.
I don't think I could get outside of my city limits.
I was just checking for my wife from upstairs. It is a Greek garlic and herb marinade. So yeah.
The more garlic, the happier I am.
Oh.
Yes.
We just had a white garlic pizza tonight from Wegmans, which is a local chain.
Yes.
And they put like cloves of fucking garlic on it.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
I mean, you see these. We did that like Blue Apron or something like that for a while, and it says, use one little toe of our garlic. It's like, yeah, right. I'm talking about take the whole thing. It's like we're talking 12 times whatever they say. So it's like listening to Ina Garden, the Barefoot Contessa, talking about making breakfast tacos, and she's like, just 1 or 2 dashes of Tabasco. I'm like, hell, fuck, do the whole fucking bottle. And then get some cayenne pepper in there and some red crushed pepper flakes. And
yeah, I'd like to taste my food, not burn my tongue off. So,
Doug, before we get out of here and before we let Robert go, we're going to ask him the definitive question of 2020, which is, Robert, do you sleep with a top sheet?
Yes.
See, Doug?
Absolutely.
I
don't always sleep with a blanket, but I definitely sleep with the top sheet.
Right.
I mean, I'm in Texas. It's hot down.
What kind of animals don't sleep with a top sheet?
Now, wait, do you sleep with just a top sheet?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Top sheet and a blanket, that's fine too. It depends on how cold. But yeah.
All right. Let's clarify cold, because Texas, it's got to be in North Texas to be cold.
What is Texas cold, right,
yeah.
Doug? I agree. I'll see that point. What is Texas cold?
So for sleeping, I mean, I'm sleeping naked, so I want something, but I've got a ceiling fan going on, and I don't want something blowing on my skin, so I've got a sheet there, but I don't need it for temperature. I just need it to protect me from the fan.
That's right. And Doug,
protect you from the fan. Protect you.
Yes.
Doug and Jill are both wrong.
But I don't need that. I mean, so a quilt or a blanket or any of those types of things, that's it's such a pain in the butt to wash. But you've got a sheet, and it's like a layer between you and the blanket. You don't have to wash the blanket as much.
So no duvet? No duvet?
Yeah, we got some. I don't know. It's
Doug, I forgot.
I don't know those things.
Nonsense too, don't you, Doug?
Well, here's the thing. You talk about a sheet being easy to clean. A duvet is way easier. Take it off the comforter, throw it in, wash it, throw it right back on. Ta-da!
Yeah, you got to reinstall the whole comforter thing and all that.
Yeah. And
that's not that easy.
you wash your sheets, you got to take all your sheets off and put all them back on. Just as much.
Nah, sheets are easy. And really, I mean, the only reason I wash my sheets as often as I do is because I'm married. You know?
Last time you washed your sheets? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go 6 or 8 months, whatever. I don't know, but she seems to think that that's something that should happen once every couple of 3 weeks, whatever. You know?
At least Doug's not one of these animals that takes the top sheet off in a hotel. Remember that, Doug?
Yeah, I did not do, and I have several people who said they do that, and that's beyond me, even me.
Do you know how often the hotels wash those?
Oh, yeah, we had that whole conversation, and we had somebody who actually worked in a hotel and said they never wash those things.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have that top sheet.
Right, especially in the hotel.
Just for mental purposes.
Doug even knows that. Like, Doug knows that that's a place for the top sheet. He understands. Yeah. Right. So, Robert, it's been awesome having you.
Yeah, man.
If we don't stop talking, we'll go all night.
I didn't even spin my wheel or anything.
That's why we got to have him back on then, Doug.
I think that's a must.
Shotgun beers this time. Next time I spin my wheel. Beautiful.
Let's have him on after you guys are done school.
Okay.
After what? After beer school?
Yeah.
September.
Okay. Will school ever end?
Yeah.
Yeah. My beer school with him doesn't end until next September. So
we may even be done with the pandemic by then.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay.
I was actually in a meeting with several different internal medicine doctors this morning, and yeah, it's looking good for the vaccine, but we're probably not going to be getting it. You and I probably aren't going to be getting it for almost another year. Just by the time they roll it out, you know, they're hitting the high priority people first, the people that die, you know, quickly, and then they're going to roll it out to the rest of the general population.
But Mike Pence told me today that it'll be here before Christmas.
Yeah, Mike Pence is full of shit.
That's not news.
Did you ask him about the fly on his head?
Hey, also, did Mother clear him to say that to the public?
Right. I'm surprised he got to a debate with a female on the stage. You know,
I'm sure he
like that to come through.
At least 20 feet away, because I'm sure Kamala Harris couldn't resist his watermelonez.
Uh-oh. Everything just faded out.
And on that note, Robert, you want to tell us about the beers you had tonight?
I think he might be lagging over there.
Is my thing? Are you deleting me?
No, we just you're just lagging out there, homie.
Yeah, you want to talk about the beers you had
That's
tonight?
crazy. I ran an Ethernet cable down the hall and everything.
Yeah, that's okay. What do you have for drinks tonight? Tell us the beers you had.
Yeah.
And what do you think of them?
I had Trillium Black is beautiful.
That was a good one, right?
Thought Smittix's the stout got something to say. I thought that was wonderful, but it's, you know, I mean, he's not professional yet, so you're not going to get it unless you've got connections. Oak Highlands Black is beautiful. It's a little bit boozy, a little bit alcoholic.
You think maybe if you let it go a little bit, it would have got better, Rob?
Yeah, if it aged a little bit, that might help. But I mean, I've had it for a few months. But yeah, I mean, if it sat around for a year or so, might be better. And then a couple of 1050 shotguns, which, you know,
as you do,
they're still dripping a little bit.
You don't miss any drops.
Right?
Finger licking good.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm always a fan of 1050. So
yes. Robert, it was awesome having you. Thanks for gracing your presence. And
it was fun. Thank you very much for inviting me.
To us, and I don't know if you're more than welcome to come back whenever it's ready. When you're ready, I know sometimes you just like to plow through your school and have some open time to do extra beer things. So, but we will be bugging you about coming back early next year if that's what you're interested in.
That's fine. You know where to find me.
That'd be great. Again, thanks for coming on, and we'll talk to you in post production if you hang around.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Cheers, thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
So, until next September.
Yeah, dude, it's a year-long thing. He said that in the middle of the whole thing. He's doing it every 2 weeks.
Yeah. I
mean, it's cool because he gives you a shit ton of stuff to read. So it's like, I mean, not a shit ton, but enough that because reading stuff that's like beer stuff that's about like chemistry and all that stuff, that's dense. It's not like reading something you just are like, I'm going to pick up the Stephen King book and read that. It's not like that at all. So
you don't have to tell me. I'm with you. You don't have to say so much matter shit. What's that?
You want to go, or you want me to go about?
Oh, no, it was just cool. So it goes to September, but it's not every week. It's every other week.
Yeah, every other week. So every other week on Monday for 2 hours we're on.
Right, because I saw some. Well, you guys have put out screenshots and took pictures of what you guys are doing, and I saw that you have like 4 and 5 and 6 beers sitting around you. So it must take, a couple. It must take a week to go and like grab all those beers and make sure that you have what you need for class, right?
It does, especially if you're like I was telling him, like we were talking about having like dark mild was one of the styles, and I was like, I can't find any of those.
Yeah.
But most of them I can find. And the thing is, during the class, he's sampling all of them. I can't do that. So I'm basically sampling 3, and then I'll sample 3 later in the week.
Gotcha.
And use that, use the class reference to be like, okay, here's what you should be getting out of this. Here's the note you should hit. Here's, things you can use as like nose samplers to kind of bring out the taste of it. So yeah, he is really well organized. And if you can find a way to get into the class, I highly recommend it because it's a lot of data, and information, but it's really well organized. It's, it feels
it's level 2, right?
But it's great.
It's for level 2 cicerone, right?
Level 2 cicerone for that. I don't know if he does any other ones, but yeah.
I am pretty sure I'm gonna try to take that written one soon.
Yeah.
So I'm already there, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise I would have took it though. If I wasn't doing SIBO, I would have took it. So I don't know what to do here. This one was the best, Crambic. I still have some here. It's a light, refreshing, not cranberry dominated. I mean, it's called Crambic, of course, so it's gonna be dominant.
It's not like
no, it's not. Actually, the blackberry in this Ghost was definitely more tart and in your face about being a sour than this one. This isn't even a sour; it's more of a fruit beer. As Robert said, their fruit beers are just amazing. But this one is a different. Again, it's light, it's refreshing. It's if anybody has this for Thanksgiving, woo,
yeah,
woo. Yeah, real good.
That would be awesome.
I like this one. Blackberry Cobbler. It's a big Ghost as far as like expressing that tartness, and I didn't get that much saltiness out of it. I was happy with that. And Bedlam, I've had Bedlam before. Belgian IPA, pretty solid. Nothing special, but sometimes you don't need something special, Doug. Sometimes you just need it.
Sometimes you need solid.
Yep. So Doug Ziegler, I enjoyed Santa from Suarez. They're out of it now. I believe that's he's because you say you can't find milds or they're hard to find. I think that's what Daniel's talking
Suarez
about.
is not something I see a lot here. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say in third place was this one only because it was borderline sickeningly sweet.
Wow.
Now again, this doesn't mean it's bad. It's not.
No.
It's a one-shot deal.
Yeah.
One is good. Don't need any more of it. Now I have 3 more of these. One of them's going in my cellaring fridge, but just see how that
Maybe some of that sweetness will run off.
Yeah, I'm hoping because the caramel flavors are great. It's just it's a lot of sweet in a beer. So I'm going to say 1A and 1B, whichever one I pick.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with this as 1B, chocolate cherry stout. It's really, really good, really drinkable. The cherry is not. It's there, but it's not like it's not going to make. It's not going to make it medicinal. That's the thing. It's really good. It's really blended in well with the chocolate. Chocolate's definitely the predominant flavor there with the stout, 5.5%, which makes it even more drinkable.
Unlike Mad Elf.
Mad Elf is way more cherry forward, but I don't find that medicinal. But that is a thing we will discuss in a few weeks. This one is 1A, but again, it's a fucking perfect Baltic Porter. Really, just if they said, "What's a Baltic Porter?" That should be what they give people. It is really just spot on.
And is that something you see year round there?
This is the first time I've seen this. I've seen their other beers. I've never seen their Baltic Porter, which is why I grabbed it.
Okay. So the answer is likely no.
No. Now, when I was at Wegmans earlier, I saw some of it and I didn't grab more of it, and I regret that. So I'm probably gonna have to go. If I go there again soon, I'm gonna grab whatever they have, stock it, and send one your way. What? Oh, is that what that meant?
Me.
I can arrange that.
Me. Yeah, and I got a few here. Yeah. So excellent, man. That was great. I don't know what happens next week. Let me go find out. Before we go, next week is Badger Beer Hour for you folks that are in Wisconsin.
And even if you're not in Wisconsin, I'm telling you, it's a great show. And I'm not from Wisconsin. I watch it every week. And I like, the thing is, they talk about breweries I can never get beer from. It's super well done. And you got Landon and you got Chris, and they're fucking great, and you're great. So yeah.
And we're going to talk about Minocqua. There's a big internal discussion between us about Minocqua. And we're going to be talking about it this week about their beer. But next week is Matt Strain joins us to talk about. It's excellent to talk about how you can drink less beer over the holidays, and you can drink less alcohol if that's the way you want to go. Not everybody's going to go that way, but there are people who want to drink less alcohol and enjoy themselves during the holiday, and I feel they have to drink all day. So Matt's going to help us with that. He's the big NA guy. He gets all the NA beers. He's up on that. NA beers are fascinating. If I can get my hands on, them, I would love it. I would love to do an exchange with Matt, but I only have regular beers to give him. And he's a recovering alcoholic, so that's not going to work.
Yeah, that's not going to quite work.
Right, it's not going to work. But you know what I mean by when I say he's the NA guy. So we're going to have a different kind of conversation. The last time we had him on, comments and suggestions and people engagement was just off the roof. So we are definitely both happy to have him back.
Yeah, and I believe he said in a group chat we were talking with him about there's a thing called Monday Gin that he was ordering as well. I hope he has that on the show because I really like to hear his summation of that as a non-alcoholic gin.
Right.
I want to hear about that. I love gin, so I think
I love gin and tonics, man. That's one of my favorite drinks.
Although seasonal drink for me. I don't know about you, but
it's my go-to when I'm done with beer and I still want to drink. How about that? Especially after a day of tasting, and I'm seriously done with beer at like 7 o'clock. If I start at 11, I'm done. I had enough. It's great, and I still want to drink. It's absolutely gin and tonics. It's
crisp. It's really just after beer. It's definitely a really crisp drink to kind of end on. Very good.
Yeah. It's very nice. So we'll see you guys who watch Badger Beer Hour Wednesday. We'll see you, Doug, next week with Matt Strain.